All right, welcome to this week's episode where we're going to be talking about creating your dream schedule and setting the boundaries. Now, this is something that I get asked constantly when I get on calls with clients, and they ask me, how do you allocate time for this? How do you run, so many things and still be able to work, between 15 and 20 hours? And the reason that I'm able to do that, and the thing that I attribute the success of that, is just having a clear picture of what my calendar looks like. Anything that needs to get done and that, it's gonna have to get done through the week is gonna go into the calendar, weeks and months, right? So for example, let's say the kids are in school. I know that they're going to be in school, and I know their holidays. I get their calendars and I plug that into the calendar. Any meetings I may have for volunteer work will also get done there, will get uploaded, and I'll get reminders. Then after that, there's any family or appointments, things like that gets on the calendar. And then I'm able to look at, okay, what do I have on the calendar as in allocated hours left for work? Because to me, quitting or leaving the 9 to 5, more like a 12-hour workday, was with the intention or the desire, better said, to be available to be a mom, be a wife, do things aside from just work that really light me up. So the only way that was going to be possible is by really putting into the calendar those things first, and that will give me an idea of exactly how many hours I would have available for work. So when and that has been the same ever since. So I look at that and I'm like, okay, I have a lot of energy Tuesday and Wednesday to work and to be able to support clients. And just, I feel that I have a lot of my energy on those 2 days. After that, I'm like checked out. It's weekend. So Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then Monday, it's kind of like I need that time to kind of recoup and to rest and to take care of my health. So throughout the years, I've changed that. I've split the hours in between like all the week. And I think that the thing that has worked the best for me personally has just been to go to work and have the containers and the offers be on those 2 days, because that's where I have my highest energy. That's where I'm more fresh. That's the reason why Mondays I won't go into calls, because it gives me time to kind of regroup after the weekend. Kids are back out to school. Gives me time to give myself the self-care that I need, take care to plan and process things that I need to take care of, and then be able to think, okay, what am I doing? And really not feel stressed and go into the week really charged. Now, again, this works really well to me. This again is just an example of what I do, but you can take the concepts and the principles that I'm speaking about in this, episode, and apply it to your own situation. Right now, I'm in a season in my life where my kids are in school, and it's a lot easier than when they were little. And it might look different if you have little ones at home, but just take the concepts and the principles and see how you can apply that and plug that in into your life to give you that dream schedule that you're looking for. So that will be the first thing, is plugging everything into the calendar. Doctor's appointments, everything goes in. So as the weeks are going by, and let's say, for example, kids will have a doctor's appointment following month, right? Since that's already scheduled out and blocked off, I know exactly where to put that appointment without it making me feel overwhelmed or forgetting about the appointment or not doing it at all, right? So I will obviously, let's say if for next month I think there's going to be a Friday off. That's a day off. I'm not working. I will go ahead and plug in an appointment on a Friday afternoon. Another thing is, if I want to go ahead and take a art class or take some, go do some volunteer work, I know I have 2 days in my calendar that I can go off and do those things. And nothing's occupying that space. It's open and it's available there. I'm not gonna switch a client call and put it into that day. It's not gonna happen. I create my availability. Sorry, a month before. That way I know exactly where I'm at. And that allows for clients to be able to book within those limits. And if they're not able to do so, they can go ahead and look at the following weeks where my availability is at within those 2 days that I've allocated for work. And I'm going to touch a little bit on this, but that also is about setting boundaries with yourself. And when you are able to set those boundaries with yourself, your clients will respect them and will know how to work with you. So that has been such a life-changing thing in our life, because I know for sure Tuesday, Wednesdays, those are my days where I'll work maybe 4 hours, and I know, Wednesday would be that's it. I'm done with calls and I can go refresh Thursday, Friday. Again, I can't emphasize this enough. Nothing gets put into Thursday, Friday, unless it's an option that I'm like, that I've a decision, not an option, a decision that I've made. And I said, okay, this is fine. I can do this trade-off. But aside from that, I'm not going to put myself in a situation where it's not going to respect the desires that I have, because obviously at the end of the day, we go into entrepreneurship, we create our own businesses to be able to have the flexibility and the freedom of doing the things that we want. We really don't want to be, at least for me personally, right, spending a whole lot of time working myself to death, because then I'm just creating corporate again. Like, why did I leave my 9 to 5, right? So that's kind of like the idea on it. Just really sitting down, having like an open Canva in front of you. Open your calendar, look at your calendar, start plugging in, right? I'll start plugging in, okay, what time my kids wake up, what time I'm, making breakfast for them. Because obviously if I have to make breakfast and take them to school 7 to 8, I'm blocked. I can't do that, right? Maybe you have someone, take them, so maybe you can take a call. I personally don't like to start my call days until 10 a.m., because by that time I've done my personal nourishment, my spiritual, emotional, mental nourishment, and I'm ready to step in and support my clients. I don't think it would be of service to pour out to my clients if I'm not taking care of myself. And I also model that to them, and they're able to go ahead and do the same thing. So to be the best version of myself, it's by taking care of me. And 10 a.m. is just the best. It works perfectly well for me. I've had my coffee. I've gotten up. I've taken my kids to school. I've done all the things that are, super important. And now I can shift and really focus on, all right, I'm ready to go in and take a look at what we're doing for the day when it comes to client calls. Where are my clients at? What support do they need? What are the trends? And then really like set up and go into the calls, excited, recharged, and ready to go. And then same thing towards the end of the day. I know I'm blocked. I'll put my phone on, just so, hubby and kids know, because they'll text me when they're in school. They'll know, okay, once mom has the notification on work mode, that I'm working and I can't really come to it. If it's an emergency, of course, we'll have systems in place so that we can take care of those things. But just so I can keep focus, I put those notifications there and really focus and not have brain fatigue. Because if I'm here talking to clients and I'm over here, hearing my phone ping, it's gonna cause a distraction. And for me personally, it'll just start just stressing me out. So I just put the notifications to let them know that I'm in work mode, and they know exactly from what time to what time I'm on calls. And once I'm done, I'll turn it back on and I'll send a quick hello for them to let them know that I'm done. I'm out of my calls. So that has worked really well. And it's also been helpful because I'm able to share calendars with my husband, but also share calendar with the kids now that they're a little bit older, and they know what mom's doing, what's going on in the background. And we all work as a team together to make sure that we're all helping each other to achieve a common goal, which is for me to have, this, to be able to do this work, but also to be able to have time for me, and be able to show up as the best version of myself for my clients. And also when they come home, it's like, all right, here's the time we're going to focus on what we have to do together as a family, be able to make their lunches, and go for a Starbucks run after a long day, and just really be able to shift without having that brain fatigue in my head and not feeling like, so heavy, so tired that I don't have the energy left to be able to now, spend time with my kids, be able to listen to how their day went, and really just be in that mode as a mom. So I'm able to transition throughout the day without feeling stressed out or burned out. Um, because I've arranged the schedule and structured in that way. So that would take me to my next point here when it comes about setting boundaries. Now, that's something that I've had to learn. I was very I was guilty of accommodating, they couldn't, if somebody couldn't do something, let's say on a specific day, let's say Tuesday, right? I would be like, okay, I can accommodate you on Thursday, which I already knew Thursday was my day off. But then I was getting, tired, and then I was resentful because I was tired. And the whole thing was, it starts with you or with me, right? With me. And if I'm gonna make that trade-off, I have to understand that it's gonna be a trade-off, right? I'm gonna do this and this is what I'm gonna get. But if it's not something that's gonna put you in your best, help you be your best, then there's really something that you need to kind of go back and look and see, why am I saying yes, right? And a lot of the time for me, it was just people pleasing. It was like, if I don't do this, if I don't do X, I'm not gonna have clients and they're gonna leave. And the thing is, that's not how it works. It's just the stories that we create in our mind, and we feel that we need to work extra hard to be able to get the things that we desire. And it's not at all that way. So I had to come and revisit that. And I'm like, the only way I'm going to get to work the amount of hours I want to work and keep it the way that I want is if I stick to the days. That's it. Stick to the days and make it work. And it was an exercise. It was a constant exercise, opening the calendar and looking, can I accommodate someone else? And realizing that I couldn't, and just understanding that it didn't mean it wasn't a bad thing if I couldn't move stuff around, right? And that has helped really to have the contracts in place where they know exactly these are your hours, these are your days. And if it can't be done, we'll move it on, right? To your next call. It's already Clients are aware. I know where we're at. There's clear communication and everything works perfectly fine. Everybody meets their call days. And if I want to create something different, let's say a different container, if I choose to open a different container and I want to open that on a Thursday, that's a decision that's gonna come from me, but I'm gonna be 100% okay with it because I know why I'm making that decision, right? But it's but at the end of the day, I'm left in control of that. I might not want to open up a container that covers on a Thursday, but that's going to be on me to decide. But understanding that, because I look at my calendar and I look at the things that are in there, I always ask myself, is this going to give me what I want, or is it going to take from what I want? And if it feels heavy, I'd rather just not go for it because I'm not going to enjoy it. Whether if it's a container that I'm passionate about, if it feels heavy just by planning it, I am not going to enjoy it. So I'd rather just not. I try to work with what the 2 days that I know I'm my best and work at that and be creative there and see how I can infuse that into the 2 days that I already have allocated for work days, right? So doing that has allowed me to really stay fresh. And, I have days where I can slow down. I can just sit on my couch and just drink my coffee and really enjoy the quietness of the house because for me that's needed, and really just allow myself to have my brain just be quiet, because it also helps me to be creative and to really process everything that I've gone through the week and be able to come back and see how I can better support my clients. So that's another thing that has helped me by creating a dream schedule and setting boundaries. It's a ripple effect. You see it affect the family in a positive way, and you also see clients being affected by it in a positive way because I'm giving myself that time also as well to replenish and renourish and be able to just let my brain really um, go through the process and see, right? And take the learning things that I've been able to take through the week. Now, with that being said, there's sometimes, you know, time slots, maybe you are in a season where you're creating programs and you're like, but there's so many time zone differences. What am I going to do? Take the days that you are willing to work and try to accommodate, of course, right? Because it's a two-way thing. And try to see how you can accommodate the clients, right? If there's a time zone difference within the days that you're willing to work or that you want to work, right? Maybe for you, you want to work Thursday, Friday, and you can create that desire of accommodating those hours within those days. And that's going to help out for you to get what you want, but also give your clients what they need and what they want and create that happy balance. And I've seen this in different variations, in different ways, and it works out really well for, those containers. And that's when I see clients be the most happy is when they're allowing themselves time to go ahead and just sit at a coffee shop without worrying about I need to be on 100% of the time. Go get a massage or um, just sit and do nothing or sleep in, right? Because they're allowing themselves to give that time. So if you are in a season right now where you're like, this feels overwhelming, I would say go look at your calendar, schedule out, plug in your to-dos, like your hard to-dos that have to get done no matter what. I even schedule my gym time. I schedule in the calendar. I even schedule my self-care time because if it's not on the calendar, it's not going to get done. So I had to block off my lunchtime because I was also at the time so used to, if you've been used to working in corporate or, just a 9 to 5, you sometimes work throughout lunch or you're at your desk eating and working or you just don't eat. And we tend to bring those habits into our businesses and as entrepreneurs. And that's something that I learned really quick where I was like, wait. I can't be creating this habit of I need to redo this or undo this habit because I don't have to be at my desk eating. I don't have to be, stuck here 24/7. So I definitely blocked that time and that allowed me in the beginning, I had to set a timer to remind me lunchtime. And then after that, it's like, all right, 12 o'clock. I get excited. I go into the kitchen. I go see what I'm going to make. I can make myself a fresh salad or I can make myself a yummy sandwich, but I'm enjoying every hour of my day. And that's what I want to bring across. Just because we're entrepreneurs and we're business owners doesn't mean that we need to be um, miserable in the work that we're doing. We get to create it in a way that gives us pleasure, enjoyment, happiness, fulfillment. And yes, if we do feel tired at the end of the day because there's energy that we're pouring out, um, it's okay. That's part of it. But then that's why we have that space at the end of the day where we can go ahead and replenish ourselves. For example, if I know Tuesdays and Wednesdays are my call days, I leave a window of space to be able to switch off and be able to, go ahead and prepare my dinner, slowly mellow out. Um, Maybe Wednesday it's a day where I can just go and sit and relax and maybe take a bubble bath. It's just different things that I may choose that I may feel I personally need to refresh myself. And then kind of be like, okay, my work week is done. Now I go into Thursday and I'm excited because I know Thursday and Friday are days they're open. They're just available for me to be able to do other things. I still, again, I want to clarify, I'll do check-ins on those days, but still, it's not like I'm not on calls every single hour on those days. I'm just checking in and supporting clients as needed. And I can do that from wherever. So if I want to be at the beach on a Thursday, I can still check in with my clients. If I want to be anywhere else in the world, I can still do that. But it's just been so rewarding. And so it's not the same, right, as it was before in the beginning. At this point, it's obviously there's um, things I can delegate out. But when I was trying in the beginning, obviously there was a lot of things I was doing. But at the end of the day, you can still just focus on the things that will really move the needle forward in your business and just do those things. Everything else is kind of extra and that can make you feel overwhelmed. But if you can just focus on the 2 to 3 things that really move the needle in your business, that's going to help you to go ahead and take the charge of overwhelm and really just plug in those things into your calendar and really start enjoying, right, the flexibility and the freedom of having your dream schedule. I don't think you have to wait until you're hitting $1 million to have and to feel the freedom and the flexibility that your business can give you. You start by putting that into place from the very beginning, and by setting those foundations, it's going to help you to just, as you keep growing and scaling, working with those amount of hours without having to put more hours in. I don't think that in order to make more money, you need to work more hours. That's not at all the case. You can, as long as you're solid on the hours and the days and how you want to work, that's going to help you to create the things that are going to help you support your clients, but also give you to achieve the goal of having that dream schedule that you want, and also help you with you being very clear with the boundaries, what you're willing to do and what you're not willing to do. Now, this has helped my clients because when they look at, just the schedule and the boundaries I have, they're able to go ahead and also implement those boundaries. They take the concepts and the principles, and they can apply it into their same business. Of course, there's a lot of systems and structures that I've had to put in place to free up my time. And that's another thing I have to attribute that, right? Like anything that's going to have to get done like a million times is going to get systemized, because I don't want to be repeating things over and over again. And it's like ordering groceries. I don't want to be worrying about that every week. There's a list that gets filled out throughout the week as things are coming out, right? I even got my kids on board. If you see that the juice is out, you got to add it to this list. So I'm not the only one filling that list. So by the time it's time to go order, whoever I can ask one of the kids, I can ask the hubby, hey, can you order the food? Because they know exactly, right, what's in that list, and they can go ahead and place the order and groceries get delivered. And then everybody knows how to store it away. So it's just not a one-man show. Everybody knows how to do it here. And it just makes the process a whole lot easier. And for me not to feel burned out. So that's how you're able to. So I'm not worrying about, Tuesday, oh man, there's no groceries. No, we know that, groceries need to be here by a certain day. We know that we need to put an order on certain days. And it gets in there. So that's one thing how I've been able to. And same thing goes with any chore in the house. So if you're in a season in your business where you're like, well, I can't hire help. Well, that's okay. Just systemize it. Like systemize it, create processes around it, right? If, for example, Thursday is my day off, right? I might just I might just do the laundry, right, on a Thursday. Or if you have kiddos can do the laundry on a Thursday. They help me out with the dogs. They help me out with the groceries. They help me out with everything and anything. I don't have to be superwoman, and I don't have to do it all. And I think that's something that I can translate to you if you're listening. How can you start now putting in those systems in your home, right? Because let's say if you want to hire someone, if I want to delegate the cleaning, let's say, or the laundry or the grocery, if I want someone to cook for me, I can just give them, here is this document, right? That we fill out throughout the week as to what we need. And then all that person has to do is take it and go get groceries, come back, bring it, follow the same system. And the same thing can be said with business, right? If you start creating systems in your business, like this is when I create a podcast, this is when I plan, this is when I create, this is when I edit, then you're not going to feel so heavy or so stressed out to do those things, because now you know what the process is. And as you scale and grow, when you delegate that, the person will know exactly what needs to get done, right? And that's going to help you create, or be able to plug those things into your calendar. For example, I know that I'm going to create a podcast on Monday, right? I know that's the day. So Sunday night, I'm going to take a shower. I'm going to wash my hair, because Monday morning, let's say, I'm going to fix my hair, and then I'm going to be ready to create a podcast at 9 a.m. And I know that's going to get done because it's already, let's say, in the calendar, 9 a.m. I'm recording a podcast at 9 a.m. Right? It gets done. Team knows what they need to do in order to edit and when it needs to be published and released. So it allows me to stick to it, to not to enjoy the process of creating the podcast, to be excited about getting on here and sharing teaching points with you, and keep the tasks or the things moving along in the business and not feel stressed out. And then if you're adding to that client work, okay, now Tuesday, I know that client work is there. I'm focusing on the coaching. I'm focusing on supporting my clients. Monday was about creating content. I was able to focus on that, just specifically on being a creator and thinking on how I can give massive value to my audience, but without giving that brain fatigue to my poor brain. So spacing it out, making smaller tasks has helped to be able to really enjoy the process. So if you listen to this, you can see that by creating your dream schedule and setting the boundaries, it's a ripple effect all across the board, not just in you working just the 15, 20 hours that you want to work or the 2 days you want to work, but it's going to allow you to create that system and that process to go ahead and be able to do the other things that you need in your business. And also, I mean, at the end of the day, you're just not a CEO, you have a life, and be able to manage and balance that as well without having to feel that you're sacrificing or that you're not 100% there. You know what you're doing at any given time, and you're able to attend to everything. Of course, there's times where there's things that come up and you might not be able to do something. Maybe you get sick or you're off. You know exactly, okay, what communication needs to go out in case something's happening, because you are functioning based on the structure that you've put in place. And I think that a lot of it has been a lot of the success of sticking to this schedule of the 15, 20 hours has been because of that, because of the structures, being very clear on the hours I want to work, being very clear on the boundaries has helped to adjust and really not stress out so much when things come up, because at the end of the day, there's always a solution to things. And I'm always able to go ahead and do whatever I want, right? It's like one of the things my husband says, but you have calls. And I'm like, it doesn't matter. Like, what is it that we're planning, right? If I know summertime is the time where kids are home. So obviously there's more noise in the house. There's more, mom, I need this, mom, we need that, mom, I want to go out, I want to do this. So I know that I'm a better version of myself if I just clear my calendar for those 2 months and just be mommy mode, right? I might consider having um calls, right? Maybe not as many calls in that month, in those 2 months, because I just my desire is to really just slow down, mellow out, and be with kids. And then I might just have maybe my hours will reduce, but I'm okay with that. I work in advance to say, okay, content's gonna get pumped, right, or created beforehand, so that during summertime I'm not having to worry about creating that, because I just want to focus on this aspect of my life right now. So I'm able to plan ahead. But see, that's the power of creating your dream schedule. If what you want to do is just work 2 days, go ahead, open your calendar, create that. It's possible. I have life, I have puppies, I have kids. It's possible. I do things, everything that I do really lights me up. I do volunteer work. I what else do I do? I volunteer work. Those are like 70 hours that I dedicate to volunteer work. Then I do my work. Then I have home. And what has helped to be able to enjoy and to really um, be available for all the aspects and all the things I want to do is to really create that dream schedule and have those solid boundaries where it's like I look at my calendar before I say yes to anything. I'm like, let me see what my availability is. And if I don't have the time slot for it, it's going to be a no, because saying yes to something on a slot that I already have allocated for means I'm going to take out of my bucket, or I'm going to take out of the business, or I'm going to have to take out of family. And if I do, it's going to be a trade-off that it's going to be something about me that I will have to decide, yes, I'm okay with making that change today, this week. And I'm going to go into it okay, because I'm okay with making that trade-off. And if I say no, same. I'm okay with making that decision of saying no, because I'm deciding what really matters to me at the end of the day. So That's what I wanted to share with you. I hope you find this helpful, and then you can take the concepts and the principles and adapt them to your life and really see how you can start honoring more of what you want in your life and business and start building that now. And if you're already in a season in business where you're like, Patty, I have so many clients, I don't even know what to do, this exercise will work. That might mean maybe delegating, maybe hiring someone to come and help you and really start delegating that off and saying, okay, I only want to work these 2 days and the rest needs to go to somebody else, or just really reducing your client work, right? Sometimes we just think that we need to work extra hard to be able to have what we want. In reality, it's not that. At the end of the day, we are CEOs in our businesses and we can design the life and business we want to give us what we want and what we need. And just go ahead and open that calendar. Look, plug in the important things that you want to do that matter to you, how you want your life to feel and look, and then see how much hours left you have to work with and see what are the days where you will feel more energetic to work and see how that works out for you. So thank you for listening and watching, and I will talk to you next time.